Yo, SojuTalk Nation! On this week's episode, we'll be covering fuego releases from Cignature, Uptension, ONEWE, and SuperM. We'll also be cooking up some spicy news coverage, including BTS album announced, and NCT and SM developments. So prepare your body, turn up the volume because we coming in hot. Hit me with that intro! What's up, everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot at K-pop. We're coming at you with a super spicy episode 106, and we're recording on September 28th, 2020. I'm Doug, and joining me today we got Warren.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And Anita.
Hello.
And as a quick reminder, check out SojuTalk on your favorite podcast platform, sub to us on YouTube, and join the SojuTalk Discord and be a part of the nation. Boom. All right, in terms of announcements, the first one, big shout out to our new Fuego patron, Delmonic. Yo, shout out to Del. He's been on the server. He's been very active lately because he's been playing Minju with us. He's really active in our bot channels. So that's something. Like, we got a bot for Pokemon. We play a K-pop card collecting game, and he's big on the counting game, where essentially all people do is count.
Every time I count, I see him comment right after. I'm like, whoa, I see you, man. I see you on your game. I see you.
I know Delmonic's important, but Warren has a very important announcement as well. So, Warren, hit us with that announcement.
Alrighty. You guys know what's happening this Friday?
Is there an album dropping?
Oh, it's the album coming from Blackpink, dropping
Okay.
this Friday. And I thought, you know what? Why don't we share that experience as a group? So on this Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, we will be doing a live stream Blackpink The Album listening party. We're going to be listening to it together, have some discussion, talk about the songs, talk about the main music video, talk about everything about Blackpink in their career so far. So come join. It's going to be this is the first time we're doing this kind of thing.
Yeah,
so.
we got to figure it out.
Yeah.
What we could promise now is that we will try to make this live. If it doesn't happen, we'll post on our social media /Discord that we messed up. At a minimum, you will see me and Warren. Anita's still undecided, but like it is what it is, right? So
if you want to keep be updated about it, follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Don't do both. Do just either one of them so that you're not getting spammed left and right. But
so a quick TLDR, we're going to do a YouTube live stream Friday, 7 p.m. We're going to cover Blackpink's music video and the album. Boom. All right.
Boom.
But we are now at part 1 of SojuTalk episode 106, where we discuss big new releases, choose a spicy song king, and hit you with the music show winners. Let's get it. All right. Big new releases this week. There's 4 of them again. I don't even know if there was 4 last week, but the ones we're covering this week are on September 22nd, Tuesday, we have Cignature with Arisong. September 24th, Thursday, we have ONEWE with Parting and Uptension with Light. And then on Friday, September 25th, SuperM, One, and in parentheses, Monster and Infinity. So, but at the top, let's cover Cignature's Arisong. So they are from C9, I believe? Yep, okay, and they debuted in 2020. Last 2 songs were Asa and Nunu Nana, and then they have 0 music show wins so far. But let's talk about Arisong.
talk about them. Oh no, he's starting with a sigh.
Let me say this.
Why the sigh?
All right.
Okay.
I really like specific parts of this song.
Okay.
And I want to like this song. And I've listened to this song many times because I do find it catchy, right? Particularly, I really like the pre-chorus thing. The thing that part where it gets whimsical. I don't know how to... I really like that part. But there's one part of this song that we cannot overlook. I'm going to imitate it. Prepare to cringe, everyone. The part in the chorus is too much, y'all. It's too much. And at that point, my immersion was broken. I cringed really hard, and it just took me out of the song. And then it happened a couple more times. What about you guys?
I think I agree with that sentiment, though, because I felt for the most part, this theme, like not going back to the concept now, I feel like it suits them better than their previous concept in their song Asa. I don't know. I feel like more people could get, or felt like more people could approach this concept where it's much youthful, more playful, and it suits the group as a whole. So that's why I thought like, oh, this seems more natural to them as a group than their previous song. But the chorus is very interesting.
It's pretty busy too, right? Like at least that's what I felt.
It's a very busy song in general. Like the track itself is like it's very busy in terms of production and both in terms of composition. And what I mean by that is like in terms of composition, it's always like very hyper, it's fast paced, it's just always running. And there's our moments where I feel like maybe we should be taking a break, but that's the whimsical, the mallet moment where they're like, oh, we're just gonna keep going. And then if you look at the production, it's like it's very top heavy and it's very bottom heavy, meaning there's a lot of like high frequency instruments and a lot of bassy instruments, and they're all like very aggressive. They're all like, they're all like fighting for attention. It's like they're all like kind of greedy in that aspect, and none of them like fulfill the need of like being kind of like a background filler instrument, and they're all just like fighting for attention. And that's like you end up with like a very busy song with a very busy way of arrangement, and it's kind of a positive spin on saying it is like it's very high energy, but at the same time, like I don't like it when people yell at me on the phone. Like you know what I mean? Like
I agree.
Yeah.
I was like, I really want to like this song more. Right? Like I thought there were certain parts in the chorus I'm like, all right, this is kind of catchy, right? This is cool. And then I say like that pre-chorus is super solid. I was like, all right, just hit me with a good chorus here. Maybe, I don't know, switch it up or something. And then she did the sound effect. I like G1 too. She's my favorite member of this group, right? And like
I will say this. I think something that I guess I'm seeing as far as a trend with this group Cignature was that it feels like there's a quirkiness to their songs.
Yes,
like they're not necessarily serious. And I feel like, okay, well maybe this is their thing, and it can be endearing, I guess, if you really kind of see that as what makes them unique. So if they're sticking to it, I guess props to them, because it's gonna set them apart in some way, and you will remember it whether it's good or bad. So
I feel like there's not too much to say about this one, right?
Check it out though; it's an interesting song.
It's actually pretty catchy though. Even though, like, here's the thing: it's one of those things for me. Is like I find this song really cringy. At the same time, I listened to it so much this week for some reason. It's so much to the point where all like the dance practices, the choreography thing are in my recommendations now. Like that's how much
you
I
don't
listen.
like the song.
I think I might like this song. I'm just confused about it. It's just so cringy, but it's like I want to like it. I guess
Here's
I like
what
it.
I'll say, right? Like sometimes you're like in the mood for like very sugary foods, and sometimes you're not, right? Like if you're in the mood for it, this hits all those notes. Whereas if you're like not in the mood for it, this is gonna be a sugar ball of migraines. Like you like, it's a very like, I think it really depends on your tastes. And really depends on your like mood of the day.
The interesting thing with Cignature is, if I'm right, like they debuted this year, 2020, right?
Yeah.
This is their third comeback already. They putting in a lot of work. That's I think cool because C9 is not known. Where like number one, where is CIX? That's also what I want to know, right? Like I know Bae-jin Young got injured, so that's probably why it's been delayed more. But at the same time, giving them 3 comebacks is a good sign. It means the company's heavily invested in them. Honestly, I think there's a lot of potential there. They just need to, like, choose different songs. I would say I haven't been a big fan of really any of them, like a humongous fan. But I do think though that I'm starting to find more things I like about their songs as they move forward.
Fun fact: the producers of the song is almost a complete match with 2 Cosmic Girl tracks. One, which is As You Wish or Iruri. And the other is Ola from the last recent album.
Do you like those other songs? And then you like those 2 songs better
like
than
those
this
other
one?
Songs.
Yeah, right. That's what I was gonna say. We'll have to see though.
Yeah.
I think they have a lot of potential though.
Yeah.
And also there's not that many rookie girl groups this year outside of like Weekly. Sorry, I said it wrong.
Weekly.
Weekly. Shout out to my dailies out there. But it's good to have a lot of rookie groups because this year it is wide open, the race to be rookie girl group of the year. Let's move on to the next one. Oh goodness. So this is ONEWE's Parting. They are from RBW. I did not call them ONEUS. They are ONEWE. Like sometimes I mess that up. They debuted in 2017 as Mas. That's how I originally found them out in the unit. And some of the Cignature members were also on that show. And then in 2019, they debuted as ONEWE. Last 3 songs were End of Spring, Q, and Regulus. And 0 music show wins so far. Okay, pre-pod.
I'll go last.
Pre-pod, Warren said, I got a lot to say about this song, and it probably
Yeah.
ain't very good. But I'll give my impressions first. They definitely went more in a rock direction with this one, I
Yeah.
would say. The main thing I've noticed is that their last 4 songs are all kind of different genres, I would say.
Yeah.
Regulus was more like a melancholy rock song. I consider it the most similar to this one, Parting, which I think is more angsty. Q was that song where they collabed with Hwasa, and it was more trappy. And then, if you remember, End of Spring was like that festival, almost westerny, like
Western
early
pop
2010s song,
EDM.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
So the consistency just ain't there right now. Like we're all over the place with the song selection, which not necessarily a bad thing. For me though, with Parting, I thought it was okay, but I thought a lot of times it just kind of like felt like one note for a lot of the song. But Anita, what did you think of Parting?
I think I would agree. It's definitely going back to their more typical rock sounds, but this was more of, I guess this is a very different vibe than End of Spring because it's very like emotional, dark,
Yes.
sad, moody type of rock, which is interesting that they switched it up so fast or so quickly. And I guess I remember criticizing them because I had wanted them to go back to this more rock sound. I don't know if I necessarily wanted it to be this type of rock sound though, like emotional, dark, kind of slower, like not really any like intense part in the song that I can remember. And I guess maybe that's what I wanted more, where it feels like a harder rock song where there's like a chorus that's very much picks up the pace and there's like a climax in the song, whereas this feels more like reminiscing type of song and like a sadness in it, which is interesting. It's interesting that they're trying out these different things. I would say that Q was probably the one that I liked the most so far because it had some interesting concepts with the more pop trap sound. But I get it. I think you guys are trying to find more of their sound as well as a band and how that incorporates into that.
I agree. Q was also my favorite. Okay, Warren. let's see what happens.
I mean, I have one positive thing to say.
Okay.
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 I think the lyrics are really interesting.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure this will be very easy to find translations too. And there is an analogy that is incorporated into the plot, and that's not really often you see that in K-pop. And like there's like room for interpretation. That is very rare for K-pop to do that. So I thought that was really cool. Kind of a shame considering other parts of the track was a little lackluster. So I'm gonna guess that the production direction of this track was emotional, based
Right.
on their
Yeah.
maybe not based on their experience, but like they're portraying an experience, like an emotional one, reminiscing, sending a person away, saying goodbye, that kind of deal. Now, when you're sending through that emotion, that theme, that message, that relies on various aspects of the track, right? It relies on production, it relies on the vocals, the lyrics, yada yada yada. Now, the issue is all of those never seem to fulfill its complete role, and instead relies on the other aspects of the track. Except all the other aspects of the track are also kind of doing the same thing of like relying on the other aspects. So you end up with a situation where like every aspect of the track is a little lackluster, and you end up with this this pillarless roof that kind of falls flat. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Let me break it down a little bit. Right? Production, right? Doug kind of mentioned this. It feels kind of one-notey. There is like a very constant mood that is pushed throughout the song, which is really ironic, given they have a lot of interesting production choices. There's like one of the first verses has like a very new age feel, which I'm not sure why they did that, because that's not what is. First of all, it's not popular. And second of all, it feels randomly thrown in. And so I'm not sure why it was thrown in. And it's poorly integrated as well. So that felt very pointless. And that is like a general pattern with the production. They make stylistic choices for seemingly no reason, but just to kind of make the production very muddy. The entire production of it is very... It's very, very muddy, very flat, because there is so much going on where none of it makes a clear voice. If the problem with the previous track was that too many aspects of the track had too much character and they were all fighting for attention, this is the opposite situation where nobody has any character and they all kind of fall back into each other. And you end up with this flat, dynamic-less, boring production that ends up being like incredibly generic. Okay, I criticized the productions a little too much. Let's go with the vocals, because I really liked Yonghun's vocals. I really did. That being said, it's a little boring. I'm not gonna lie, it is, because in order for me to feel emotions, I need to these guys have to feel like portray emotions. But what I'm getting is I'm sorry, and I'm really sorry to all the weaves, but all I'm getting is like generic boy group vocals. Like, maybe I'm making a mistake by comparing their vocal style to their band competitors. But it really just feels very dry. It really feels like I'm not really getting much. It almost feels like, instead of portraying their sadness, it feels like, hey, you should feel sad. This is the emotion we're going for. Right. It just feels like it's failing to convince me. The lyrics. I said earlier, there's an analogy integrated into the concept. That's pretty cool. Except the word choices is like so cringy. What are... Like, fly into the sky? Like, really? What are we, like 2004 MySpace people? Like, come on. Like,
What?
Look, so each element plays it very, very safe. None of it stands out. And you end up with a situation... it's a pillarless roof. It all just kind of falls apart because nothing has nothing to like go into. Does that kind of make sense?
What I've learned is that you put a lot more thought into these reviews than I do. I mean, you remember the thing we said was like, Warren looks way too deep, but I'm a caveman over here, right? I feel like this is one of those moments. I get what you're saying though. I agree. It doesn't throw it off that much for me, right? I'm just like, meh, right? That's my ending feeling is like, meh, right? But I could see what you're saying though.
Right. It's just that I don't see like a redeeming quality about the song, and every redeeming quality about the song is overshadowed by like something.
And
that
are you angry because you know they can do better?
Well, I'm not really angry. It's just I'm confused at this point. What do they want to do? What is the type of artists they want to be?
I really agree with that. I think that so ONEUS is pure boy group, right? Like ONEUS is a
Typical,
boy,
yeah, the
typical
general
boy group.
idea.
You know, they've been going darker lately. That's been their current thing. After Lit, they've gone dark essentially.
Vampires.
Yep, I get that. That's cool. It seems like with ONEWE, it's like they got a band, right? But the company. Like, so Mamamoo had a sound, right? But then they started to lean more into just generic K-pop, and it seems like they're finding their sound again. I don't know if that's a fair thing to say, but it seems like with ONEWE, they're like, we got a band, right? Like, yeah, right? And it just seems like they haven't picked a direction and really committed hard to it yet. At least in the last 4 songs, I would say.
Yeah, I'm not sure what their direction is in terms of musical career. I'm not sure what their direction is in terms of business.
Yeah.
So when next time they come back with a song, I'm gonna be very curious.
Yeah.
But like,
I feel like now that we mentioned like bands and like the band sound, I also feel like typical like rock music, right? You expect the lyrics not to be very poppy, right? So like the subject matter does matter in a sense. When I get like with this song, they were trying to focus more on that, like there's this message, there's this analogy, like there's this mood, this vibe that they were trying to offer, right? But I don't know if they do it successfully, or at least I don't have any comparison with this group yet because it seems like they have been trying different things so
Right.
far that it doesn't seem consistent. Or maybe this is the first like try and they will get better later on. But I feel like there is some pressure with band groups in K-pop. I don't know because there's no like I don't know if they want to distinguish themselves as K-rock or something like that, but they're very much trying to be in like the mainstream platform, so it's tough as far as the sound in a genre.
The thing is, like, it would be one thing if like I did not like rock music at all, and
Right,
it's kind
yeah.
of true that I listen to a lot more like rap heavy, pop heavy stuff compared to rock
Yeah.
music. But when I listen to like bands that are like very well received in the field, like Black Skirts or the Channabi or
Or
right.
indie, I guess typical indie, I guess.
Right, they do lean a little more indie. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, actually, yeah, they're very indie. But when I listen to rock music and band music, I am capable of feeling emotion. Here, like, I'm like,
We'll have to
Just
see
trying
though,
it out.
because I like ONEWE. I just don't think they
Yeah.
found what makes them yet. But
Yeah.
let's move on to the next one. So it's Uptension's Light. They are from TOP Media and they debuted back in 2015. Last three songs were Your Gravity, Blue Rose, and Candyland. Zero music show in so far. Right now they are not Uptension, they are Up7tion.
no,
Because
man.
they are promoting a 7 without Wooseok, Jinhyuk, and Jinhoo because of health issues. I think we'll talk about missing Wooseok and Jinhyuk later, though. I think that's something that comes at the end of our review of this song. But overall, I thought they did really well.
I like this.
I like this
It
song.
was fun. Yeah.
Things that stood out to me overall, I thought the whole song was kind of cool. I really liked what they were doing. You could tell that they're experienced now. They're in like year 6, 5, 6, something like that.
Oh yeah.
Stable vocals. The thing I want to point out is they did great utilizing their limited amount of sets in this song and music video. There's only 3 real sets. There's a storefront. There's like the disco room with the LED floor, and then
Yeah.
there's those arches. That's about it in terms of sets. And like I thought they did a great job utilizing it because I don't think they blew the budget on this song by any means, but I thought it was a cool music video and I was really into it.
You know, I never noticed it, but it doesn't feel cheap at all. Like that's
No,
right.
but
That's pretty
it's
cool.
But what do you guys think about the song?
I think what I enjoyed most about this song, and I think I kept up with Uptension in their earlier days, and I kind of wandered off because I felt like they were trying for a very aggressive boy group type of vibe at that time, and I think that might have been what was popular at the time as well, so it made sense. But I feel like, as you mentioned, it definitely feels more polished, more I don't know, more confident in a way. I don't know. I think with years of experience, I guess they've also gained that aura about the group as well. And something about the music video, and I don't know if it's the styling or the color palette, the lighting, it felt very, very cool, like very effortless. I don't know what the word would be. And it suits the instrumental, like the instrumental of the song is like very synthy, like I think especially in the pre-chorus, I feel like they really push like the synth sound, and I don't know, it fits very much visually with what's going on in the music video. Because I think there's like iridescent colors in the music video. Yeah.
You know how pastels are also very popular in Korea now, and they wore pastels. I thought that was great. I really like
Yes.
pastel colors right now too. What would you think of the song Light?
Just say me.
Yeah, it's a you.
Oh no, I really like the song as well. It was it played a little safe in my tastes for my tastes.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, but at the same time, I felt like all the decisions made sense in terms of how they were expressing things and production, and the synth drop chorus.
Yes, I like it.
That was right. That was super interesting because it felt very catchy. Yet, I mean, it's not something I can sing out loud, right? Like, I'm not gonna like bam, like I'm not gonna do that. Like, but at the same time, it's like it's stuck in my head, and like it's kind of rare for that to do that. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay, so we all kind of like the song. I think the bigger storyline here is like where's Jinhyuk and Usuk at, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
So number one, before we have this discussion, we are not saying Usuk or Jinhyuk did anything wrong, right? Everything we say is pointed at TOP Media, right?
Okay.
Decisions.
My opinion is the whole point of the produced series, if you're an existing group already, is to translate it into post-produced success, right? I think that's
popularity.
At least that's like what it seems like you should do to me. We've seen it with like New West, where they've had a second career after produce, that kind of thing, right? So Usuk was supposed to be an X1. That didn't work out, right? So they decided to make him go solo instead. Jinhyuk, right after produced, they're like, well, you're just going solo now. Like, right? Deal. Because he didn't make the group. It just feels like, to me, like a little unfair to the 7 who are promoting right now. Right? Like...
Yeah, I don't understand the reasoning for the wait, to be honest.
Yeah.
To incorporate them back into the group. But I don't know. I don't know if, like, how much of it is, like, them individually saying, like, oh, I want to try going solo, now that they're riding on that popularity of the show. Or the company being like, hey, you're marketable as a soloist right now, so let's do that. And then they agree to it. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't make sense too much to me.
It feels like a poor business choice.
In terms of numbers, right? So Jinhyuk has had 2, I think, mini albums, right? First one sold like 100K. That was in November of last year. The second one in June sold 60K, right? Usuk had one release in May that sold 117K. So they're about 100K. They're about equal level of popularity. Uptension, the last mini album they released was in August of 2019. It only sold 34,000, right? There's a big difference there. I guess the point I'm trying to make is like, right now we're in the pandemic mode, right? There's not many opportunities outside of releasing music. There's not like variety shows or appearances and stuff like that, right? To me, it's like, it's not like Jinhyuk and Usuk are so busy that they can't do Uptension, right? That's the thing that doesn't... Maybe they are. Maybe I just don't know. But from a casual observer, I'm sitting here like, I don't think they're so busy that they can't, like, just do the promotions with them and help the group out too, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me.
I mean, if anything, I would be prioritizing group efforts over solo efforts. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
True.
that would generally equate to more profits, but
like what do we know, right?
What do
But
we know?
I guess it's just for me. It's like I feel a little bad for the 7, like because Usuk and Jinhyuk, I guess objectively are your most popular members, right? And to just keep doing promotions without them seems just a little weird to me, right? I don't know. But let's move on to the last song of the week. On September 25th, Friday, we have SuperM's One, Monster and Infinity. So they are from SM. They debuted in 2019. Last 3 songs, Tiger Inside, 100 Jopping, 0 music show wins so far, but that doesn't really apply to them. Also, SuperM announced a collab with Marvel for a new merch collection. And Paul Glitter, Senior Vice President of Licensing at Marvel, stated that this is the first of many collaborations and that they plan to expand the Marvel universe into K-pop through SM.
that's
Marvel
interesting.
Universe.
Yeah.
The Marvel universe involved here.
Maybe like that whole Avengers of K-pop tagline wasn't like a joke.
Oh, man.
Like, we getting like a
It was
PPL
a
through
clue.
Yeah, it was like a
Mr.
clue.
Disney really like that.
But in terms of One, Monster and Infinity, objectively for me, my favorite SuperM song to date.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I like this song a lot. I think this is the type of music they should be doing at SuperM. What about you guys?
I feel like out of the trio they had going on, right? So 100, Tiger Inside, and this song now, I probably liked this the most out of the 3.
Okay.
Still not my favorite track from them though, and I think there's a quality of sound in this, and I think it has to do with the way the verses and the chorus are switch, or like they're a little different, or the build up to the chorus that makes it it makes it seem, or it reminds me a lot of the type of music that KDA, so the
Oh.
virtual girl group, for the game or the gaming community, right? So that kind of sound, it reminds me a lot of that, and it kind of took me out from the concept of this like Avengers, right? Like the hero type of concept they have going on, like
Is that their
very
concept?
cinematic. I think that's kind of what they've been advertising with Jopping, and then all the set styling, and especially the like the teaser photos that they're now are bringing back with this music video. Because if you watch the end of the music video, they show clips that they showed in the Jopping teasers, like leading up to the song, and in those teasers they were alluding to like powers of sorts, or like some sort of lore going on with the group. And so like I guess it kind of makes sense, like with the Avengers of K-pop, so there might be like a hero type story with this. And I feel like they kind of lost it a bit, like, and they're kind of bringing it back like at the very end, like seconds at the end of this music video. And I don't know, I think like it kind of got lost in the music in a way for me, and I don't know what to make of it. I think the key change in the chorus did surprise me a bit. I was a little confused when I heard it, but it did remind me of that KDA sound, and in that sense, I guess it made sense if they were going for that virtual kind of gamey type of sound.
Can I make a KDA aside real quick?
Yes.
Okay.
So KDA, right? I didn't know where to fit this into the pod because there's a ton of news at the end. They're pre-ordering a light stick right now. You can get
wow.
they're releasing a light stick, and I was also told that I think that there's a fan club now as well. What? Like,
What's going
There
on?
you go.
they go real K-pop. There's a light stick you could pre-order. It released yesterday,
man.
and it actually looks like a legit K-pop light stick. But keep
Are we
going,
gonna see
Anita.
them on
Just wanted to
YouTube?
throw that out there.
No. I think it's interesting though, because it seems like this is also like that type of genre where it's like gamey music. I don't know what to call it, but it's
Gamer music.
like
No,
a
no,
virtual
I know the
quality
term.
to it. Yeah.
This is what I'll say. I think I could summarize what you're saying. This song felt like an event. You know, like there was some kind of weight to this song that the other two songs didn't have. Was what I was getting. Like this is the first one of those three songs that got me like, okay, this is SuperM. Like, you know, it felt like they were doing something. Jopping also had a little bit of that feel for me, but I think that was more of just like, I can't believe this is happening, right? I think some of it was that. Warren, I want to hear your opinions though. What do you think
I mean,
of One Monster?
I agree generally with what you guys said. I did feel the weight. I don't know why, but
Yeah,
it was
right?
there.
was
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I see where you're going with the key change thing. I do think it was really, really a risky move, but they pulled it off really well. And this is why I'm like constantly surprised with SM production, because they really do experimental things, and sometimes they fail horribly.
do.
Or BB, but like sometimes it goes really well, and you have songs like this, and it really works out well. There was that whole industrial like intro with the trap thing, and I was like, dude, this is like it's a dope beat. It's a dope
I like
beat.
the beat there a lot.
One of the better loops I've heard this year. That was really cool.
I think we're fine. Keep going.
Okay, whatever. It was, it felt like, now, okay, some people were saying, right, that like this song and the songs leading up to this, with the SuperM tracks have been like, what sets them apart from the rest of NCT tracks? And I think that's a bit of a fair thing to say. I
I
think
think it's very fair. I think
right.
It's very fair.
I think if I really wanted to, I can point like differences. Like, sure, NCT tracks are more trap heavy and more bass heavy, and we have like more electronica with SuperM, whatever. But like, there is a general similarity in direction, and that might be because everything is coming out of SM. But like, but besides that, one more thing, right? I know that the Avengers of K-pop thing is like something we keep bringing up. I'm like pretty sure they just said that for the sake of it. Like,
I mean, I get it.
there was a time. There was
Yeah,
a time
but-
where like there was a time where everyone was like, "Oh, they're the Avengers of this. This is the Avengers of that."
The
Like they've been
group,
like saying
right?
that forever in like the
Yeah.
entire Korean like mass media thing. Like,
Yes.
I think it's
So,
fitting
like-
though. I was gonna talk about why I thought it was that. Like, why I think it still fits. There's a point in the music video where just Kai's on the screen doing Kai things, right? And I
As
was
Kai
like,
does.
I think.
and the reason why I was watching with my sister earlier today. I'm like, Kai has some of the best stage presence in K-pop. And then as second I looked at her and said that and looked back, Taemin was on the screen. And I was like, he kind of has some of the best stage presence in K-pop too. And, I was just like, I don't know if that the first statement was true. Like that you don't get that with many groups, right? Like I'm like I saw Kai on the screen. I'm like, we have a generational talent. And then I look back, there's Taemin. I'm like, he's really
Another
good too.
talent.
And then at one point, they were at one point Baekhyun and Taemin were like battling dolphins, with the high notes.
I think it was 10.
Oh, it was 10. Oh yeah,
Oh,
10
it's
was
10?
10 had high
Yeah.
notes, crazy. Like
Oh,
10
boy.
did really well. I thought Lucas did really well in this song. Like that's a sexy dude, straight up, So objectively, Lucas, really good looking dude. And sometimes he feels like he's kind of just like, I don't want to call him a filler member of SuperM, but he's not as famous as the other members, right? In this thing, I think he was holding his own, and I thought 10 was doing really well in this one. I think they shared the wealth a lot more than some of the other songs, and I really like to see that because sometimes it's like, all right, we're gonna get Mark and Taeyong rapping, and then we're gonna have Baekhyun and Taemin singing, and then Kai's gonna dance some, right? That's sometimes what it feels like, right? Like, but
It did feel more democratic in that way.
I completely agree. Overall though, I really like this song. I don't know if it's my favorite song in the world, but this is what I want out of SuperM as a whole.
I generally agree.
All right.
Quick shout out to LG Wing,
Okay.
the phone
Who's
at
that?
the end.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
The product placement right there.
LG
Yeah.
Wing, is that what it's called?
Yeah, but this podcast is not brought to you by LG.
I'll be honest, the second I saw Laura on the screen, I turned off the music video, so I didn't see the phone.
It ended with like Taemin like walking
Okay.
around and then sitting on the grass fields, He was, like, looking all like sexy, and then he like flips the phone up and he's like, "Oh, okay, you get a product
Okay.
placement here at the very
Yeah.
end."
But the other songs that were released this week include Ghost 9 made their debut. They are from Maru with Think of Dawn. H&D, which is Hangul and Dohyun, they released Umbrella. There's also news about them at the end, so stay tuned for that. Boys the Capo, BDC released Shoot the Moon. UNVS released Sandcastle. Johan and Jinyoung, Bae Jinyoung, they did a Pepsi collab called I Believe You Know Those Pepsi Songs. And then finally...
A remake.
A remake. Super Junior, D&E, they released the song today called No Love. But we are now at Spice King, so that's a segment where each week we, the crew, will decide which song reigns supreme. So the Soju Talk, the Soju chart will be evaluated in terms of song quality, spice, and listener fatigue. Songs that place number one will be this week's Spice King, and then songs that win Spice King 3 times will gain entry into the Hall of Spice. But the Soju chart from last week, episode 105, From Miss 9 picked up their first crown with Feel Good, second place with Everglow's La Di Da, and third place with Stray Kids' Backdoor. And of course, the candidate this week are the songs that we covered. So it's Signature's Arisong, ONEWE's Up Tension's Light, and SuperM's One Monster and Infinity. All right, guys.
Alrighty.
I think the top 2 songs need to stay top 2. Straight up.
Really? They
Yeah.
need to stay in 1 and 2, or like they need to stay in the.
I don't know the order, but they need to stay 1 and 2, like between them.
Really
Yeah,
interesting.
that's my initial take. What
Okay.
about you guys?
I was thinking Super M might be first place.
Oh.
What? I mean, I wanted to put Super M number 3, but like, I don't know if I want to order 2.
You want to
Okay.
take Stray Kids out?
I mean, this is I want to say Backdoor like week 3 or 4 at this point.
What?
No, it's week 3.
Three.
It's week 3. It's
Week
week 3.
three.
It's week 3 of Stray Kids
I'm,
Backdoor.
I'm okay with saying goodbye to Stray Kids.
If it was like God's Menu, I would be arguing we still need to leave it on the chart. But I just don't. I agree with you that I like Backdoor, but it's taking me a couple weeks. I'll admit it that God's Menu is superior to that one.
Anita, you want
Yeah.
to keep Backdoor on the charts?
I mean, I was lukewarm towards Backdoor in the
Yeah,
beginning.
you wanted that boy
Right.
the boy song from last week. Are you still
did.
salty?
I sure did.
All right, Anita.
Yo.
How do you feel about Feel Good and La Di Da? At least, where do you want to place them?
I've definitely listened to one more than the other.
Which one?
Which one?
Everglow, La Di Da. I have listened
Really?
to more. Yeah, I
You
feel
know-
like the chorus is very catchy.
I used to be. I think Feel Good's better. Like objectively.
Yeah.
After this week, I think it's like 50-50. Like I'm really
Really?
undecided. Yeah.
Wow. I was very determined to say goodbye to Everglow as well this week.
What?
Oh.
But I mean, like, if I'm in the complete minority.
Okay,
like,
no.
I-
If you're getting rid of La Di Da and Backdoor, what two songs do you want to put in here?
SuperM is one, I guess.
Yeah, and
Yes.
and is it Up Tensions Light?
Yeah.
No.
I liked
No.
Light, to be honest. I did.
Yeah.
Do you okay? Out of the 4 songs this week, what's your favorite? Mine is the SuperM song.
Mine is SuperM as well.
What about you, Anita? Is it Up Tension?
Yeah, maybe.
But is
Between
it
the
close?
four.
Is it
It's
close?
close. It's
Okay.
close.
Okay. Okay. I think we can all conclude.
Stray Kids
Super M-
Backdoor's coming off. Super M's 1 is going up. And then we got to decide the rest, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you want to put Super M's 1 at number 1, sir?
One for
one
one.
for one.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna drop some spice this week. Let me do
okay.
that.
Okay.
Okay.
I want Everglow's La Di Da number 1. I want Super M number 2, and I want Performance 9 and 3.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Interesting. What
I
about
thought
you,
you-
Anita?
Oh, I thought Doug was gonna keep Feel Good number 1 for some reason.
What about you, Anita? What do you want to put
But
number 1?
even though I feel like out of the trilogy of Super M so far, I do feel like 1 is the one I like the most.
Okay.
I don't know if I would place it as number 1.
I agree.
I don't know. I guess I haven't listened to the full album either, so I'll check that out. But
It's a good album.
yeah, I need to listen to that. But I don't know. I understand number 2. I don't know if I could understand number 1.
I agree. See, I was gonna put a 2 or 3.
But I
And
do
I-
like the sound, you know.
Okay, but Anita,
Super
if you
M1,
put a
number
2 though, do you want Everglow to be number 1? Hey, you got what you want last week, sir.
I fought fair and square, and I won fair and
Anita,
square.
You were
An-
trying to bribe me, Warren.
Anita, if it came down to Feel Good, La Di Da, and 1, what's number 1?
Not well. I know what it's not. Number 1.
Oh, what is it not? It's not 1, right?
It's. I don't think. Well.
Oh my.
Well,
goodness,
for sure,
Anita.
for sure. I haven't listened to Feel Good as much as
I
I
agree.
thought I would. So I would place that at the lowest. But Everglow, I know that I've listened to more since it came out. So as far as listening fatigue, not there yet.
I agree.
For Super M, since it came out, the song, I don't think I've listened to it as much as I thought I would.
Anita, do you have the same chart as me? Is that what you're trying to say? Do you have
Maybe.
Oh
like
my
okay?
goodness.
Out of those 3 songs, so number 1, you're okay with giving up Tensions Light, right? You're okay with that?
Yeah, it's still a good song.
Okay.
Still a good song.
So we're down to 3. We're down to those 3 songs. It's just the order, right? So the 3 songs in some order is going to be Feel Good, La Di Da, and 1 Monster in Infinity, right? We're fine with that.
I have not heard Ladia a single time since we recorded last week.
Really?
What?
I thought it was really catchy.
I thought it was a fun song, but like I never returned to it. Feel Good, however, has the peak amount of re-listenability. It is like what pop should be. It's like the textbook definition. Guys, we are sinners of pop music if you are not doing this. Fake pop heads, that's what we are.
Wait, so what do you want number 1? Because I thought you wanted Super M1.
Yeah, I want Super M1 for
Why
one.
are you
so-
saying this?
And
then?
Feel Good at 2.
You want
and then
Everglow last.
and then Everglow third. I can go with that. That's my argument.
I can't agree with that.
Oh my
dude.
goodness, y'all tripping. Y'all wild people.
Okay.
Okay. Or you know what? I got what I want last week. I see this as a strategic.
You're gonna want to put it next week.
I mean, that's not what I'm saying at all.
Oh.
But I know when to fight my fights, Anita.
Right.
I look at the forest rather than the tree.
You pick your battles.
I pick my battle. That is true, Anita. I watch from above.
I just gave the songs on those 3 songs like points based on the 3 charts that I think we want. Mm-hmm. So Everglow and SuperM have 7 each, and then From Us 9 has 4. So From Us 9's third place. That's objective.
You gave them points based on like where you want.
I gave if you got first place, you got 3. If you got second, you got 2. You get third, you won.
Okay.
From Us 9's objectively last. So From Us 9's Feel Good's coming in third. So now the final argument is Everglow's La Di Da 1 or SuperM's 1 Monster and Infinity 1.
Guys, this is the first week with 1 Monster and Infinity. It's fresh off the charts, fresh off the release.
Well,
it is
just arrived. Warren, sometimes life isn't fair, you know? And I think that you were outvoted this week. Right, Anita?
Technically, yeah.
Okay, boom! Anita, we are outvoting Warren this week. So
I mean, it's still in the chart, so
I think.
Well,
here's the thing. Next week, right? There's only 3 decently sized releases. Blackpink, ONEWE, SF9. Those are some competitors. We'll have to see. If for some reason the Blackpink song's like not great, then maybe Everglow's La Di Da fatigue will settle in and SuperM will go 1 next week. But that's unlikely to happen. But
we'll see.
The Soju chart for episode 106, right? First place, Everglow's La Di Da picking up their first crown. Shout out to Everglow. I think that's going to be a surprise to people. Second place, SuperM's 1 Monster and Infinity. And in third place, From Us 9, Feel Good. Shall it be written? Shall it be done? But lastly, we are at show winners. Anita, hit us with them.
All right. So on Tuesday on the show, Astro's Moonbin and Sana, Bad Idea had its first win. So it's their first win ever as the unit, I believe.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Congrats to them.
Congrats.
Yeah, and then on the following 2 days, so Wednesday on Show Champion and Thursday on M Countdown, Stray Kids Backdoor had its first 2 wins for promotions. So congrats to them as well.
Congrats.
Then for the rest of the week, on Friday on Music Bank and Saturday on Show Music Core, BTS's Dynamite had 2 wins again. So they're up to 15 total wins for this comeback. And then finally on Sunday on Inkigayo, Blackpink's Ice Cream had its second win. Win. There we go.
So the other thing about Dynamite is that I was going to say this later in the show. I'll just say it now. Blackpink's Dynamite climbed back up to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 this week after spending 1 week at number 2.
Hey.
So basically, it went first place, second place to WAP, and then it beat WAP now, so it's back at first place. So
Right. I think you meant BTS's Dynamite, right? Because I think you said Blackpink.
Oh, BTS's Dynamite. Yeah, that's right.
Correction.
Yeah, 2 totally different groups and songs. But that's pretty cool. You know, also Dynamite I think is only 1 win shy of the amount that Boy With Love got at 16. Pretty sure that's what it is.
Wow.
But we are now at the end of part 1 of I just blanked out here. We are at the end of part 1 of SojuTalk episode 106.
Yay.
If you were listening to that audio version, sit tight. And if you were on YouTube, head over to the episode 106 part 2 video. We'll be back after a short break. 3, 2, 1.